Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm your football host, Brandon. The L in NFL stands for lawyer, Perna. 24 women are suing Deshaun Watson and now possibly the Houston Texans. John Gruden is suing the NFL. Roger Goodell and Dan Snyder may be forced to appear before the House committee to answer questions they have been dodging since the investigation began. And oh shit, I forgot, Brian Flores is still suing the league for discriminatory hiring practices. Meaning, this will be the most attended NFL stadium in 2022. Today, we'll discuss the new news about the Houston Texans possibly being added to the Deshaun Watson lawsuits. I know we're getting tired of it, but this is sort of a big deal. How global inflation does not seem to apply to the Rams, and of course, Aaron Rodgers may be dating a witch. Try not to laugh. That's not a joke. That's accurate. That is accurate. Hey, and don't forget, this month for Father's Day, think about getting your dad some coffee. My coffee. Benchwarmer Brew from BenchwarmerBrew.com. Right now, code BIGDICKDECADE will get you 10% off. And if you do the subscription service, it's 20% off, totaling 30% off. So you can get your dad a whole year's worth of coffee if you're a really good kid. And I've got Big Dick Patreon shout-outs for new patrons. Michael Clark, Sports Talk Network, Misty, Kavansnika, and God's Butt Monkey. God's Butt Monkey. Patreon.com/thatsgoodsports. It's a way you can support this channel, and it was a lot of fun, as always, hanging out with all of you in the Patreon Zoom meeting last night. In a story as old as time, a Boston sports team was caught trying to cheat again. Golden State Warriors players noticed the rim seemed a little too high in warm-ups, and sure enough, it was 2 inches too much. Something I and about 98% of you watching have never heard before. Yes, that was a rim shot for a rim job joke. The Los Angeles Angels tried an interesting tactic in an attempt to snap a 13-game losing streak. Every Angel batter that came to the plate used a Nickelback song for their walk-up. Photograph, Rockstar, If Today Was Your Last Day, all their best tunes. The Angels scored 0 runs, so it didn't work, but at least they made their fans listen to Nickelback for 3 hours.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me miss at bat.
And yes, Aaron Rodgers may be dating a self-proclaimed witch. I say self-proclaimed because I know a witch when I see one, and this ain't it.
Hello.
Her name, though, is BluofEarth, and this photo of the two emerged, and now there are rumors that they are dating, which have yet to be confirmed. For my sake, please, 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 please let this be true. Oh my God, if I can use this against Tom Grossi on GPS all season, you know I will. You make fun of my quarterback for saying, let's ride in a corny way? Well, at least when he says, let's ride, he's talking about a horse and not a fucking broomstick. All I ask is that the next time Aaron Rodgers talks about what he and his doctors decided was scientifically best for his body, he cite this book for reference. And again, I won't fully believe the rumors he is dating a witch are true until I search BluofEarth and more than one photo of Aaron Rodgers shows up. Jack Del Rio was forced to apologize after referring to the attempted overthrow of our government at the U.S. Capitol as a dust-up. Now, I know a lot of people are mad at Jack, but let's not forget, he was the head coach of the Jaguars and the Raiders, and currently the defensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. That's the NFL version of fighting in Vietnam for 10 years. So of course what happened at the Capitol would seem insignificant to Jack. When Alex Smith broke his leg in half, Del Rio was the first guy to tell him to rub some dirt on it. And he wasn't even in Washington yet. Now, Jack's comments kicked up so much dust that the NAACP, that's right, has called for Jack Del Rio to resign. The NAACP is mad at a guy with the last name Del Rio. Jack may have also cost the Commanders any chance to get public funding for a new stadium, according to a Virginia state senator. So I have advice to any member of the NFL, coach or player. When you are asked about anything remotely political, just respond with this.
Get your hand off my penis!
Thank you, Patreon. All right, Hunter Renfrow got a new 2-year, $32 million extension with $21 million guaranteed. It was a good week to be a very Amish-looking wide receiver in the NFL. Renfrow, even as an enemy, as a member of the Raiders, is a player I love, and he's coming off a 103-catch season. A production number I expect to stick around with Josh McDaniels orchestrating the offense now. The crazy part is Renfrow was actually recruited coming out of high school and was a 2-star recruit, unlike his Amish brother Cooper Kupp, a 0-star recruit who is now the 4th highest paid receiver in the league. Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp, who some consider to be the best in the league, signed an extension that gives him the highest guarantee ever by a non-QB. It's a 3-year, $80 million extension that includes $75 million guaranteed. The Kupp will now be full and in LA through 2026, and the total deal is worth $110 million. The question everyone keeps asking is, where the fuck do the Rams keep finding this money? I suggest listening to Andrew Brandt explain how rich owners can use cash to manipulate contracts with a bunch of fake voidable years tacked on the end.
Proration is the magic for teams that are struggling with the cap. They simply push out the cap, add voidable years to the end, which are dummy years just for proration purposes, and they can pay way over the cap.
This is why poor owners can't always compete against the richest ones in terms of free agent signings and player extensions. Brandt explains the loophole, which the NBA and NHL do not allow, in this clip on the Pat McAfee Show.
Signing bonuses are prorated for cap purposes. So, if you give a guy a bonus, it's prorated over the life of the contract. You keep the first year number low, you keep the salary low, and the cap goes up in later years, but you're staying under the cap while giving out a lot of cash. Now, cash-rich owners like Kroenke, like Walton will to come, like Jerry Jones, they can do this. Other markets can't.
A loophole I hope stays open now that we Broncos fans have the richest owner in American sports. Yeah, the winning bid to purchase the Denver Broncos came via Walmart. Now, I talked about that on my podcast on the That's Good Broncos YouTube channel and on GPS with Grossi, so I won't spend too much time here. I stated, though, the number one reason I didn't want Walmart to purchase the Broncos was because of the jokes. Not a joke, though, is Peyton Manning possibly becoming a minority. Yep, he wants to become Dominican, and I support that choice. Jack Del Rio has already come out against it, though. Sorry, minority owner of the Broncos. Per Adam Schefter and me this week, Manning could be an advisor in the organization that results in having equity in the franchise. And as my good friend Ryan Green pointed out, Peyton Manning has plenty of experience owning the Broncos. I can laugh about that now. And that's what I love about the Broncos. After someone embarrasses them in the postseason, they simply capture them and make them one of our own. A Denver Bronco player I think may have a breakout season is defensive lineman Draymond Jones. You guys thought I forgot about Dre, didn't you? Well, I did not. And this was his response when he was asked if he would ever date a witch.
No.
BluofEarth. BluofEarth. As a friendly reminder, Baker Mayfield is still set to make the most money this season as a Cleveland Brown. His $18.85 million is fully guaranteed, so the Browns basically have to pay him no matter what. It was very kind of them, though, to excuse Baker Mayfield from mandatory minicamp for the time being. I guess there's a situation if he doesn't show up, they don't have to pay him. Who knows? But the Houston Texans will now be added as a defendant in the Deshaun Watson lawsuits along with others. Why is that important? Well, now the Texans are being accused of possibly knowing what Watson was doing, and if not knowing, turning a blind eye and enabling his disgusting behavior by providing hotel rooms at the Houstonian for him to have his massages and NDAs, and failing to ask just obvious questions like, hey Deshaun, why have you booked massages with 66 different women in the last hour? Now, this was a statement from Tony Busby, the plaintiff's lawyer. Based on what we have learned from the Houston Police Department, we will soon be joining the Houston Texans organization and others as defendants in the ongoing lawsuits against Deshaun Watson. If that happens, it could open up a whole new can of worms for the NFL and the Texans to deal with. The Texans can claim ignorance here. They really can. But the thing that may get them in trouble are the NDAs Watson was given by the Texans after one of the masseuses threatened to expose Deshaun Watson. The person who gave Watson the NDA, who was a member of the security staff, is one I am assuming may be added to the defendant list. And what that means is Watson went to the team and was like, whoa, look, this masseuse is threatening me, saying some crazy stuff about me that happened during our massage. And instead of looking into what was happening, the Texans were like, oh yeah, here, just have him sign one of these pieces of paper. That'll keep you safe. And I do have to apologize. In the last Deshaun Watson episode, I stated that the Texans could in no way be organized enough to try and take down Deshaun Watson. I stand by that. But what I failed to consider was their complacency in the situation. As dumb as the Browns look for giving up 3 first-round picks for Watson, the Texans may actually be in a worse situation depending on how culpable they are determined to have been in this lawsuit. The Browns cannot get their draft picks back for Deshaun Watson. Those mother lickers are more gone than boring-ass Drew Brees from the broadcast booth. I do hope Watson is banned from the NFL. So we can say the Browns gave away 3 first-round picks just to ensure Baker Mayfield never plays for them again. However, they could possibly get out of paying Deshaun Watson if he is suspended, specifically for the 24th lawsuit filed against him, and or if any more are added. These would essentially be new issues that could fall under conduct detrimental to the league that the Browns weren't previously aware of when they signed Watson. So like the Texans, the Browns would be looking to claim ignorance to get themselves out of this fucking mess with Deshaun Watson. And we all know the Texans and the Browns were not fully ignorant here, as stupid as those organizations have been throughout the course of history. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I should have a big Antonio Brown episode coming out Monday. And yeah, click a video on the screen if you want to watch more crap. Do you like crap?
Get your hand off my penis!